Good morning, everyone. So it is Sunday, January 4th, 2026. Happy New Year to everyone. One of the things I wanted to get back to in the new year was our Sunday thoughts, Sunday chats, the Sunday meditation. And, I stopped. The last one I did was way back when we were still living at Corey and Brian's. And it got very emotional for me. And I just stopped. And I tend to do that sometimes whenever things just get too much and I didn't know if it was appropriate. But I think it's always appropriate to show you who I am and to tell you my truth and to also share positive meditations and affirmations and just positive parts of the world too, and to also give you an update. So hopefully I will maintain this on a weekly basis so that you guys can be a part of my life again. Um, and I say a lot. I'm sorry. I just got out of the shower. I'm feeling all fresh and clean. Walter cooked us breakfast on Sunday mornings. His breakfast morning. He cooks more. He cooks all day. That's his thing. He likes to cook. So he'll cook. He cooked breakfast and then he'll cook something for dinner. So Sundays are a nice day for me. It's relaxing. I get good food. I get taken care of. Walt gets his football. And we love our Sundays. So today I am reading out of the book Everyday Spirit, if you remember, by Mary Davis. I know this is backwards. I'm sorry. I don't know how to make it switch around. If I can, I will. But this is a really good book. I started this when we moved to Tennessee. I bought it on the way here. And I had an epiphany the other day that all the things I struggle with in my life right now is because of a lack of self-care. And part of my self-care is reading daily meditation books and taking time for myself with prayer, meditation, talking to people who love me and are part of my spiritual journey, and then taking care of my health, taking care of my body, just being better to myself than I have been. I've been neglecting myself, and just to give you a little admission, I've been on that damn phone too much with games and Facebook and TikTok and Facebook Reels and all that. It's a good distraction. It passes time, but the thing of it is the time passes so quick when you're on that you can be on it for hours and not even realize it, and then half the day's over. So let's get started with this. Let me see if I try. Yes, Everyday Spirit, a day book of wisdom, joy, and peace by Mary Davis. Um, Reading studio, which is a mess from Christmas. I still haven't cleaned up from Christmas. It was such a whirlwind. But look at this beautiful studio that Walter made for me. High ceilings. It's just so pretty. I just gotta clean up my messes. Here we go. Everyday Spirit. It's so good to be back here with you. Okay. To the page. I should have earmarked it, but I didn't. Patience, right? I have none. Okay. There we go. January 4th. Okay. Light up the landscape. Joy is finding the holy in the small and the sacred in the everyday. There's a brilliant yellow goldfinch outside my writing window, hopping from limb to limb on the old oak tree. They are my favorite birds. So the sight of her is beating my heart with crazy joy. She's just a tiny flash of brightness, but she has the power to create a big stir. She has me thinking that when it comes to spirituality, a little goldfinch and matters of the spirit have a bit in common. For one thing, a goldfinch likes wide open spaces. like the field where she can maneuver her roller coaster flight of ups and downs with ease. Our spirits, too, love wide open space, even when stolen from the ups and downs of a busy day. I didn't understand that at first. To check in with our inner vision, inner wisdom. These silent connections can leave us feeling that we too can fly. Even a quiet act of tea can be a cause for flight. Our teeny friend, our tiny friend is also uniquely radiant. She stands out like a summer flower and can light up a barren winter landscape. Our spirits are like that when we remember that we are an irreplaceable part of an unlimited whole. I like that. With divine guidance always present for the asking. Like the goldfinch, our radiance lights up the landscape. Really, it does. Best of all, the goldfinch came for a visit today to be a living example of the countless small gifts of beauty that surround us in this very moment. Maybe in noticing her presence, like noticing a smile or a flower or a kind word, we are reminded that joy is finding the holy in the small and the sacred in the everyday. Joy is here in this moment, right where we are. That's true. In the world, be present to small beauties today. Notice with amazement and gratitude the countless blessings that surround you. Find them in the miracle of a breath as well as in the not so miraculous mess. See how an average day can become a brighter one when you notice the gift in all things. In the heart, I embrace this day with new eyes and see the beauty that surrounds me now. In simple things, I find great joy. I love that. And there's a special reason why I love that. Over the Christmas, I went to meet my daughter's boyfriend's family for the first time. And he lives right on the border of Florida. So we got to stay at this beautiful little respite um, Airbnb called Positive Transformations. And it's a little farm kind of thing. It had goats, cute little goats, and it had 3 donkeys, and it had chickens that were free ranging, and it had 2 alpacas that were new to the place. And we were in an Airbnb. It was just a 1 room thing, like a hotel room. And it had like a little sink and a microwave and a refrigerator. It was really cute. But it was up on the second story, so we could go on the deck. It had a beautiful deck, and we went on the deck, and you can see the whole little farm. All the farm animals. Well, over to the left of the deck was a butterfly garden that had gone to seed. Because it's winter time, and the birds were just everywhere feeding off that. And it had little natural hidden places for the birds to be in there, and there were finches. There were finches all over. There were so many of them, and they would flint everywhere. They would just fly everywhere. And there were 2 cardinals, a male and a female, and they were there every morning. And I sat on that deck and watched the birds. More than the animals, I watched the birds. They were so beautiful. And there was big fat crows. They were big and fat. And then there was a chicken hawk that I guess the chickens stayed safe from him, but by being in the brambles, but also I think the donkeys, because they're protective animals. But it was just so neat to see all the different birds, but especially the finches and the cardinals, because you don't see them every day. And there I saw them every day. And it reminded me of my father, because they believe that cardinals are spirits from heaven. And last night, just to share when bringing up my dad, it's so funny. I dreamed of my dad and my Uncle Herman last night. It was really different. And I had a nice little visit with them. They were there. And we were just cleaning out Mom's old house, Teresa Mom. And she's getting very old, and she is, transitioning to the other side over the Rainbow Bridge, like they call it. And, I just wonder if that's a sign, that they're coming to walk her home. But yeah, they were there. They were there. We were looking at the old dishes and stuff that where I was finding. And I was telling Dad, and we were looking at pictures of Uncle Herman was making a joke how Dad took all the kids to Disney World, which they never took us to Disney World, but we did go on trips. And so I could see Uncle Herman teasing Dad about that because he used to, we had so many kids. There was like 8 kids, 9 kids, 8 kids living in the house because Debbie lived with my biological mom, Dottie. So it was just really, it was just a fun visit. It was a nice little visit. And I get those every so often. They come and visit me. Dad especially. Uncle Herman, this is the first time Uncle Herman's come and visit. But Dad visits me. And it was just really nice. It didn't make me cry like sometimes the visit, I'll wake up and cry because I miss him so much. But this time I just was okay. And that was nice. But I'm definitely going to call my sister today and see how my mom is because it just made me think, I know that time's getting close. And I wonder if, I wonder how close it is. I'm going down that way in January, so I'm hoping to go visit her. I hope she's there. And I can just get, hold her hand for a minute, give her a hug, and tell her I love her, because that's important. And my sister, give her a hug and tell her I love her too because she's taken on the caretaking job of my mom for the last 8 years, 5 years. I don't know. It's been a long time. But so that's my Sunday thoughts. And today I am sewing. I am learning how to sew again. I wanted to share something with you guys. Those of you, chasing our dreams, those of you who are new. Walter and I sold everything, our house and everything in Florida, and we moved to Tennessee in an RV and stayed on friends' land, and then bought our own land, and we're building a house. We finally got the building permit, and he just finished the foundation so we can get the frame up, and but since we've been here, when we bought this land, it had no septic ever. It had no water system. It has springs and a creek, and there's 6 acres. It had an old cabin, which is still here. We're hoping someday to transform it into an Airbnb. But and then it had a 1930s, 2-story 1930s house. Whoa, was it 2 stories? I don't know. I think it was. And that was falling down. So since we moved onto the property in May, we moved right after Mother's Day. I want to tell you what mostly Walter has done. Walter is amazing. So we've been here a total of 7 months. Let me just read this because I wrote in my journal the other day. It's been a whirlwind activity, especially for Walter. He put in the septic tanks. He dug them, and he had to do it more than once because we kept trying to get approval and we couldn't. Hooked up the spring water to pumps and filters. Built 2 pump houses. Built my art studio and an outdoor shower. Tore down a 2-story 1930s house, and now he burned it piece by piece, and now we're just at the bottom part, the foundation, and a couple, some old junk in there that we're burning, and he's burning that little by little every day. He planted and harvested his garden. I planted and harvested mine and ours. We did that together. He fixed all the things when they would break, because it would break. He hooked up the electricity, not only to the RV, but to all the buildings. So the shower, my art studio, the shed, everything has electricity to it. He took care of me I had 2 carpal tunnel surgeries, one in each hand, and also a trigger finger, and I got to get more surgeries too. So he took care of me after 2 hand surgeries. And he has just, it's just been crazy. I mean, he has worked, we've been here 7 months. He worked every day for 7 months. You know, I made him start taking Sundays off because he wasn't taking any days off. And I said, you need to take a day off. You have to take a day off. Because I knew he was going to burn out. But he loves doing it. He loves being busy. He loves working on his land and putting down his roots. And it's so cool to watch him. This guy is amazing. Like, there's nothing he can't figure out. He is amazing. So we and I, but I know Walt, if he was sitting here next to me, we want to thank you so much for supporting us in our journey and being here for us. And we love you, and we're grateful for you, and we're praying that you have a wonderful 2026. And we'll talk to you next week. Namaste.